Good evening, everyone. Today is the 15th of May, and here are some of the major headlines that moved the markets this week. The major stock US averages rallied in the last two sessions of the week as inflation fears eased, but it wasn't enough to offset declines from the early in the week. On Friday, the tech-heavy Nasdaq gained 2.3% and the S&P 500 rose 1.5% and the Dow Jones Industrial Average advanced 1.1%. For the week, the Nasdaq fell 2.3%, the S&P dropped 1.4%, and the Dow slipped 1.1%. Early in the week, commodities grabbed the headlines after a ransomware attack shut the Colonial Pipeline that transports fuel products to the east. Cyclicals such as energy and consumer staples gained while tech names swarmed. Inflation fears were stoked as April's core consumer price index surged most since 1982. The month's producer price index also ran in stronger than expected. In the midweek, Bitcoin comments from Elon Musk rattled the crypto markets, pushing Bitcoin down 13% for the week. Bonds fell during the week, pushing the 10-year Treasury yield to 1.63% from 1.60% at the beginning of the week. A flurry of inflation jitters clobbered tech stocks early in the week as data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics showed that inflation in the year to April climbed at its fastest pace since 2008. The consumer price index came in at 4.2% versus expectations of 3.6%, which is already ahead of Fed's 2% target. While much of the rising costs reflect growing industrial and consumer activity after last year's COVID related shutdowns, panic still spread amid concerns over how long it will take for prices to settle down and if the Fed could be forced to taper or bring some rate hikes forward. Investors have already seen widespread price increases on commodities like copper and lumber, while the bonds market forecast for inflation over the next decade has already risen substantially. That's helped trigger swings in the stock market, sending the core volatility index on Tuesday to its highest level since March. Meanwhile, executive usage of the word inflation has increased 800% in quarter one earnings call, according to Bank of America, while last week's jobs report big miss is being viewed as a sign that companies will have to raise wages to lure more unemployed people into the workforce. The Colonial Pipeline, the largest gasoline pipeline in US, reopened late on Wednesday after a ransomware attack caused it to close 5 days ago. The cyber breach has sent prices at pump above $3 per gallon, the highest since October 2014, amid shortages and panic buying across the southeastern United States. Gasoline stations also ran dry from Florida to Virginia, and Colonial said it will take several days for the product delivery supply chain to return to normal. An early report from the Washington Post indicated that Colonial didn't want to make a payment to the hackers. The publication also said that the company was working with cybersecurity firm Mandiant to restore data from backup systems where possible and rebuild systems where necessary. However, a piece from Bloomberg later in the week disclosed that Colonial paid the criminal gang DarkSide nearly $5 million last Friday, despite publicly saying it wouldn't pay for help in getting the fuel pipeline back online. The crypto world erupted Wednesday night after Tesla CEO Elon Musk said he would suspend vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. We are concerned about the rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emission of any fuel, he wrote in a tweet. Cryptocurrency is a good idea on many levels, and we believe it has a promising future, but this cannot come at a great cost to the environment. Whereas during the first quarter of 2021, Tesla bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and then sold $272 million worth. According to the company's most recent earnings, profit from Bitcoin sales specifically allowed the company to notch $101 million positive impact towards profitability. Interestingly enough, Musk just 3 weeks ago was in an agreement with Square's Jack Dorsey, who said Bitcoin would be a key driver of renewable energy's future. It also begs the question of what kind of durability Bitcoin has as a future currency when the prices can plunge nearly 20% at the turn of a tweet. The FDA as well as the CDC's advisory committee cleared a coronavirus vaccine's use in adolescents aged 12 to 15 paving the way for many to be immunized before summer camps and the new school year in the fall. The light at the end of the tunnel is growing, and today it got a little brighter, President Biden said in a statement. At least 55 million people in the US have so far been vaccinated with Pfizer BioNTech's jab, according to CDC, including 2 million 16 to 18 years old. Pfizer's shot demonstrated 100% efficacy in an ongoing placebo-controlled trial with 2,260 participants between the age of 12 to 15 years. Pfizer has also recently said it expects to ask the FDA in September to authorize its vaccines used in children 2 to 11 years old should the ongoing studies prove positive. Moderna is also studying its vaccines in children, and Johnson & Johnson said it is in talks with the regulators to do so. On Thursday, the CDC updated its guideline to recommend anyone that's fully vaccinated to participate in indoor or outdoor activities, large or small, without wearing a mask or physical distancing. Traders reacted to the news by selling off shares in notable mask makers. Allied Healthcare Products and Alpha Protect closed the session down nearly 11% and 6% respectively. On the other side of the trade, shares of Ulta Beauty finished the day up 3% after D.A. Davidson analyst Michael Baker said that the beauty retailer was likely to be a beneficiary of the mask lifting restrictions. The pandemic dealt a heavy blow to Disney's theme parks, but it was a boon for the company's streaming services. However, investors went as impressed this past quarter as Disney Plus signed up another 9 million users, taking its total number to 100.63 million paid subscribers versus expectations of 109 million users. Average monthly revenue per subscriber also fell 29% to $3.99, a move that the company blamed on the launch of Disney Plus Hotstar, and DIS shares slid 4.2% in after-hour trading on Thursday. While Netflix has doubled the number of subscribers than rival Disney, the latter's figure look a whole lot better when adding in its other streaming services. ESPN Plus had 13.8 million subscribers and Hulu had 41.6 million subscribers. Netflix has also reported a sharp slowdown in new signups, putting the godfather of streaming on the defensive. But CEO Reed Hastings has attributed the downturn to pandemic distortions and feel it will grow again as more shows come back in the second half of 2021. The US indices stood at Dow down by 1.1% to 34,382, the S&P 500 down by 1.4% to 4,174, the Nasdaq down 2.3% to 13,430, Russell 2000 down by 2.2% to 2,223, and the COP Volatility Index up by 12.7% to 18.81. In the S&P 500 sector, consumer staples up by 0.4%, utilities down by 0.4%, financials up by 0.3%, telecom down by 2%, healthcare down by 0.6%, industrials also down by 0.6%, information technology down by 2.2%, materials up by 0.1%, energy down by 0.8%, and consumer discretionary down by 3.7%. The world indices stood as follows: London down by 1.2% to 7,044, France stood at 6,385, Germany up by 0.1% to 15,417, Japan down by 4.3% to 28,084, China up by 2.1% to 3,490, Hong Kong down by 2.1% to 28,010, and India down by 1.1% to 48,733. In the commodities and bond market, crude oil up by 0.9% to $65.51 per barrel, gold up by 0.7% to 1,843, natural gas up by 0.4% to 2.97, and Treasury 10-year Treasury yield down by 0.2% to 132.45. In the forex and crypto market, Euro to US dollars down by 0.18%, US dollars to Japanese yen up by 0.68%, Great Britain pound to US dollars up by 0.9%, Bitcoin down by 14.5%, Litecoin down by 5.6%, Ethereum up by 4.4%, and Ripple down by 9.4%. Top gainers of this week were Insuits Hospitality Trust up by 92%, Moxine up by 70%, Berks Group up by 58%, Bridgeford Foods up by 49%, and Comstock Holding Companies up by 37%. Top losers of this week were Alset eHome International down by 51%, Record Systems down by 49%, Reno Pharmaceuticals down by 48%, Array Technologies down by 44%, and Brooklyn Immunotherapeutics down by 44%. That's all for today's updates. Sign up for a zero-fee account on Compound to start globally investing today. It will help you diversify, hedge, and build a truly global portfolio which will give the investors a high return as winners keep rotating. Compound has an easy onboarding process, no account minimums, and investors can invest in fractional stocks. Investors can choose from more than 3,500 US stocks, worldwide ETFs, and global companies. Join the official Telegram channel of Compound to get daily US and global market updates. All the links in the description below. Thank you.